Hello everybody and welcome back to Pravus Gaming, more Plague Inc. Evolved Custom Scenarios. I saw a request for a scenario. I don't know if it was the author who requested it, but there was one called Nessie, which is exactly what you think it is. It is a Loch Ness Monster, created by Pinecone Honeybee. Although it's all one word, so it's really fast. It's Pinecone Honeybee. That's a kind of cool name. I like it. Good. People have been citing Nessie in Loch Ness for years. Since the first sightings, Nessie became popular. There wasn't a lot known about Nessie, and some people tried to find it in the lake, but hardly anything was found. In an encounter on the shore, a group of researchers studying Loch Ness found Nessie on the shores of the lake and saved it from dying there. They took it to a laboratory in Scotland for study to find out what Nessie was, which is what, a plesiosaur? And Yali, you know your dinosaurs. Is Nessie a plesiosaur? Pretty sure it's a plesiosaur. Okay, that sounds about right. And what they can find out about it. With the capture of Nessie, however, it brought something else with it. 2 win condition starts in the UK. Praise Pravus, praise be my son. Or woman, I don't know, actually. I just sort of make assumptions based on the statistics. Okay. It is a Nurex worm, metabolic jump, a genetic mimic, terracytic streamophile, and symptostasis on normal difficulty or brutal, but not mega and not easy. Okay? No extremes allowed here. Flea Slayer. Flea Slayer? How about Nessie's Revenge? There we go. It's Nessie's Revenge now. Scientists find Nessie in an encounter on the shores of Loch Ness. A group of researchers found Nessie lying on the shore. The researchers took it to a laboratory in Scotland for research. Nessie brought a worm with it. Oh no, it was at the bottom of the lake and attached itself to Nessie and got carried with it to the laboratory. The worm got some of Nessie's DNA and a scientist got infected with the worm. Is he going to turn into a plesiosaur human hybrid? That would be kind of sweet. All right, Nessie's Revenge begins in the UK. Sweet. So, transmission, what we got? Animal and Plant Kingdom. Nurex worm can begin to infect other living things, increases infectivity, and unlocks new RANS missions. RANS missions. All right, Air 1 rides on the wind, and Water 1 floats on the water. Okay, symptoms, we have the human infection. The worm begins to infect humans, increasing infectivity. And for abilities, we have our standard cold, heat, and drug resistance. We have our genetic hardening, and we have our instability, which increases mutation chance, interestingly enough. I was about to say I think this is genetic reshuffle, but no. No, it is a mutation chance. Do we not have access to the Trojan Plains? Because if you don't, that completely changes the way that I'm going to play the Nurex worm. Not nearly as aggressive, basically. Okay, so this is free, so I guess I will pick it up. Leads to Ranch for rural countries and poor countries. Fish for ship transmission and mutation chance. But it does not say water transmission, which is what you're really looking for in the UK, since it is a humid nation. Birds, mutation chance, land transmission, new ability. Maybe that's a Trojan Plains. Insects, hot and arid countries. Rodents, urban and wealthy, and finally plants for the land transmission. Rodents would make some sense. I believe the UK does classify as urban. It does, okay. So urban and wealthy. Yeah, rodents are the way to go. Rats, plenty of rats. Black Plague reminiscent stuff, I don't know. Does the UK even have a ton of rats in it these days? I don't know, I'm sure back in the day when there was no such thing as basic hygiene, it was terrible. Nowadays? I don't know. I assume that it's clean because it seems very British. But I could be wrong. 10 DNA. That's what we're looking for, huh? Alright, well, I'm going to go for the 10 DNA then. We'll just start with that. Or I suppose I could just work my way down toward human infection. It is free, so sure. Alright, let's pick it up. That leads to Thirst. Host gets thirstier than normal and wants to drink more water, increasing water transmission slightly. Okay, that's actually not too bad. Swimming. Wants to swim more often. Swimming pools can be more crowded and spread through the water. Increases water transmission. Oh yeah, we actually are indeed becoming Nessie. We're drawn to the water. Heh. It is the siren's call that shall be your doom. Little red dots. Tiny red spots form on the skin and are itchy. Host is tempted to scratch the spots, which can pop and spread the infection. Gross. I don't want to know about that. That's disgusting. Get away from me. Now, the UK, you know what's funny? I look back at my old days in Plague Inc. when I was first getting started. I was trying to, like, break the meta and find ways to make something work, like start in the UK. Like, this is going to be meta-defining. You don't start in Saudi Arabia, you start in the UK, because it's got 2 ports, and you don't want to spread too quickly. You don't want to hit critical mass. You want to get into a bunch of different countries. Like, I used to think that the way to beat Mega Brutal was to do stuff like the UK. And now I look back at that, and I'm like, nope, that is definitely not the right stratagem. I don't know. I was bright-eyed and optimistic back then, I suppose. Let's go for the fish. Ship transmission and mutation chance. A little bit of mutation, probably a good thing. Too much could be a problem. We do have a new ability unlocked, Bigger Animals. Animals begin to get bigger and stronger. Increases severity and infectivity. Alrighty, seems fine. Do we want to pick up the little red dots? It's not severe, so sure. Free infectivity, well, free, but cheap infectivity is good. Rash. The dots grow into a rash and are much itchier. Scratching can sometimes cause bleeding, increasing infectivity and effectiveness in poor countries slightly. We're not in any poor countries, but a little bit of severity would not go amiss before we get all the red bubbles. We have insomnia as well. Worm keeps host awake at night. With those spots, it becomes a long night. Makes research harder. Yeah, and then there's efficient swimming. Host is able to swim better using more powerful strokes and overall move quicker through the water, increasing infectivity and water transmission. Or practically the water horse. Yeah, I'm really interested in severity at this point. A little bit of severity just so I can get more DNA when the time comes makes a lot of sense to me. We're going to go for the efficient swimming for more water transmission and a little bit of that severity. Then we have the water skin. Skin becomes slightly stronger and thicker and is smoother. Makes the host faster in water because we have better fluid dynamics. I guess, I don't know, we're attracted to the water now. Host not only swims more, but stays in the water longer and has higher stamina in the water. Makes a lot of sense to me. Got into Iceland. Okay, need a little bit more of that severity. Where am I going to get that best? Water skin, it looks like. We'll pick that up. That leads to plesiosaur skin. Hey! I feel smart. Okay, the skin is the same. Actually, my wife is smart. I just remember things. Which is a type of intelligence, I suppose. The skin is the same thickness and smoothness as a plesiosaur's. And the host is just able to swim as the best Olympic swimmer. The skin also turns a gray color. Disgusting. You'd think that'd be a little bit more severe. Just a wee little bit. I think we want to focus on a bit more transmissions. We want to focus on something like water transmission again? We could. Alternatively, I think now is actually a good time to go for some air transmission so we can get on planes and possibly get to arid regions, since right now we're pretty good in humid areas, at least I hope we are, considering how much freaking water transmission we should have. But I really need to get a better spread, and the airports will help with that, and I want to have a better chance at spreading in the arid regions, which, again, the air will help with that. So let's see. We can go for some more of that, or let's go for the birds with land transmission. That leads to hijackers. Worm hijack birds' brains to control their flight path, while making them have a slight change to their DNA. Unlocks the Trojan Plains. All right, now I'm not worried about any islands, like, at all. Let's get down to, let's say, Madagascar. That's going to be one of the harder ones for me to get into. We're getting around the Commonwealth really quick. That's one little thing that I've always liked about the UK start. You get around to places like New Zealand, Australia, Canada, and the US really fast. We just need to get into South Africa. There should be a plane down there, too. Anyway. I could go for some resistances right about now. I kind of like the idea of going for insects for the hot and arid. Rural is sensible, and poor countries as well, so we'll pick that up. I'm just trying to get a wide spread of resistances and different transmission types. It's going to make it a lot easier for me. All right, we should have a little bit more severity by now. Skeletal alteration. The bones in the body get more durable and slightly bigger, slightly painful to the host, and they appear slightly bigger from the larger bones. That is certainly more severe. I do think that we want that. A little bit more severity is a good idea right now, but not much more than that. Now we just want more infectivity, but we also want to find out where I'm going to get lethality. Fins! The fins and toes merge together, making fins. Keyboards are near impossible to use, as well as most tools used to study the worm, slowing cure research greatly. And then we have tail. The host grows a tail. Very noticeable. You're not that noticeable and severe, because most people don't have one. That is the uninfected. Most people? I think that's a little bit of an understatement when you say that most people don't have tails. I'm going to go with an extraordinary majority of humans do not have tails. All right, some drug resistance and some heat resistance makes a bit of sense. I don't know what this does. Severity and infectivity, yes, but beyond that, do we care? I don't know. The UK starts off cold, yes? Yeah, so more heat resistance is sensible. That uses up all of my DNA once again. So I suspect that there are going to be two paths to victory. I think that I did see that, actually, that there are two win conditions. One is going to be to turn everyone into plesiosaurs, and the other is going to be to kill everybody. Pretty confident about that. Let's go for... I don't need land transmission, that's the thing. Air transmission's okay. I'm going to go for some insomnia to slow down any cure research. Don't need this necessarily. We could go for Archaeopteryx. A small bird-like dinosaur, more Trojan Plains. Truth be told, I don't think I need that either. Seizures, slightly lethal. Violent movement can make host hit objects around them or even fall. I'm just trying to think, like, do I want to go down some lethality so I have extra DNA? which might be the way to go. Nessie's revenge is just another parasite. Could be. You want to take that risk? I don't think you do. Let's go ahead and start growing tails. Then we have organs. The host has bigger lungs and can stay underwater for as long as a few hours. That is definitely a long time. Fins. The fingers and toes merge together. Slow the cure research. Jaw. The skull is shaped into a plesiosaurus, and the teeth get sharper and have more of them. Painful for the host, and very severe. And finally, plesiosaur. The host transforms into a plesiosaurus and can't resist the water. All right, we're actually going to go for some more Trojan planes. I've decided we're going to go ahead and do that. We'll save the rest of our DNA. I want to make sure that we do get into some of these last islands. What are we missing right now? Actually, we're not missing any islands. I didn't need the Trojan plains at all. We got into Greenland. I was a little worried about that for a second, but turns out we're fine. Let's go to Morocco. Australia is leading the cure effort. Oh, you Australians who never appreciated the Scottish treasure that is Nessie. All right. The whole world is going to be in anarchy in just a moment. Every country should be... In fact, nope. The Baltic states have closed themselves off. Well, I don't think that's going to help y'all too much. We're going to go for the anti-drugs. We're also going to pick up a little bit of cold resistance, believe it or not, and a bit of land transmission with plants, and then we're going to go for plesiosaurus. Okay, so that's our win condition. You can't resist the water. This is going to be like a transcendence victory. Cure research should pretty much slow to a halt if it is actually a transcendence. I guess I'll just send this to Greenland to kind of speed the process up, but I think it really is going to come down to the Baltic states, but we shouldn't have a lot of issue getting a pretty good amount of transmission and critical mass there. Cold resistance speeds that up a little bit, genetic hardening, and then some reshuffles to try and buy myself a tiny bit more score. Set things back down to 11%, and all of a sudden, gaboom! The world is infected as a massive tsunami hits the Caribbean, and plesiosaurs are riding the waves every step of the way. We got 7 billion Nessies on the planet now. That seems like fun. There are no healthy people left in the world. Well, Nessie, you are no longer alone. I hope you're happy. The new age of dinosaurs. Billions of people have become plesiosaurs, and the world has changed drastically, with the animals turning into previously extinct animals. The age of the dinosaurs is back, specifically the age of Nessie. And also apparently little reptilian, like bird-like critters that the birds turned into. That's about it. All the other dinosaurs are staying extinct. I hope that's okay with you. 7 billion plesiosauruses. Are there enough fish to feed them all? I'm going to go with no. Massive overfishing. The world is going to die anyway. I might as well have put them out of their misery to begin with. 361 days, 12% cure progress, 3 stars at 71,538 points. Not bad overall. That's kind of a fun little scenario. I like it. Turning people into plesiosaurs is a little bit weird, but, I mean, who doesn't like turning everyone into freakish monsters? I'm all right with that. Now everyone can go around and denying their own existence. My wife is actually halfway convinced that Nessie does exist and there is a plesiosaurus somewhere in the world still. Wasn't there... I'm trying to remember. Wasn't there like some sort of corpse that was pulled out of out of New Zealand, kind of close to the shores, and people thought that it actually might have been a plesiosaurus, and that wasn't too long ago. That was like, what, 15, 20 years ago? I don't know. There are weird things in the ocean, man. I don't know about a freaking lake in Scotland or a loch, but I mean, maybe? Who knows? Whatever. Either way, it's a fun scenario. Thank you for sending it my way. Thank you all for watching. I do hope that you enjoyed. If so, then I would ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.